Hey, so this is episode 6. We're going to try to put all of this together into what this might actually look like, what it could be to take technology class and maker education and squish them together. I like to call my class Innovative Arts, and that's what I think the future of school might look like. Now, most schools have technology class. Now, when I was a kid, technology was just, how to use technology because it was really complex. It was difficult to use. Nothing really made sense. But now technology is simple. It's smart enough that it'll teach a kid how to use itself. And when someone gets a new app, they aren't waiting for a teacher to learn how to use it. So we don't so much need a class to teach kids how to use technology as much as we need a class showing kids what they can do with technology. At the same time, we have 3D printers and maker spaces and all sorts of cool stuff to enable maker education in schools without a real clear vision of what that could look like and what we can get from those spaces. Now, I love maker education, but it's really frustrating to teach the messy process of making to students, and it's hard to see what you get out of it when you're not talking about grades and the stuff that they're used to talking about. So the vision for a better class takes what is great about maker education, new ways to create, cheaper technology, cloud tools, makerspace supplies. Now add this to technology class where we're learning what we can do with technology. What we can get is a class where students are learning how to leverage technology to become unique creators, to become more themselves. There's these 6 creator types, and they're practical paths that they can start to follow and start getting started making things and thinking like creators. Now, every single student that I have can choose at least one creator type that they really want to get into. Many of them want to make all of them, or at least most of them. It's what's great about 5th grade is that they just have so much excitement and hope that they're going to be doing awesome things soon and impressed, and they want school and life to be fun. It's something that we got to try to keep and grow as our kids go through our system. Do you know anyone who's kept just a notebook just for their drawings? They would practice doodling, they would practice something over and over again. This person is already thinking like a designer. When they decide they want to try something more serious, they've already made mistakes, they've practiced, they know what they like, they've tried some stuff out, and they followed their curiosity wherever it went. Now, I'm not talking about future careers for these kids. I'm talking about curiosity and creativity and making projects that might spark the next project and give them insight into what they enjoy and what they want to do. We're not just talking about, hey, you're going to be 3D designing for the rest of your life. No, we're talking about, hey, this is how creative ideas are born. But this idea is really difficult to create a lesson around. Here's the framework that I've come up with to help us understand nebulous thing that I have. So there's 3 phases. Investigate's the first one. We understand, we follow creators, we try to investigate what it is to be a creative and have your own thoughts and ideas. The next phase, it would be to imitate. This would be to get your hands dirty, curate and begin your own projects, customize them, imitate people who are already doing the thing that you think is awesome. And then the last phase is to initiate. Define your personal style. Start seeing yourself as a unique creator and what that might look like. We don't have to decide the rest of their lives, but just to see the process of bringing something to life changes how you look at what's possible. So to 5th graders, in 8th graders, this looks very differently. In 5th grade, we kind of do it together. Investigating and imitating, we do it step by step. We learn the process. We learn all the things I have set up just to help us get through a project. By the end, we're trying to initiate their own creative ideas. We're trying to see how you can take an idea and smush them together, and you have something new that's all yours. And it's just that simple. I want to point out again that we're not just talking about careers. They don't have to go off to do that, but you can be curious and creative with things that aren't your career. Kids need to know that they're going to be exploring and experimenting for the rest of their lives as much as they want to. Sometimes it feels that all of schooling is leading up to one big choice with all this pressure and high stakes. I think it'd be much better to introduce the idea of a side gig, of something that you can play around with while you make your money at your normal job. The core message is captured by this poster I have on the wall. For too long, I bought into the idea that somehow we would discover a passion for life. There's this idea in our culture that finding a passion just sort of happens to you somehow. We stumble into it, we find it just along the way, and we just have to wait for that to happen to us. But that's not how it works. We develop our passions when we try new things, we practice them, we add random elements to it, and we work into our strengths. Maker education isn't about leading a student directly into their future career. It can help expose students to STEM stuff. It can show them how much is out there and how much they still need to try. But if we can help kids become more teachable, become more open to new experiences, to show them, maybe you don't know everything, get them off of this idea where they think that their futures are this narrow path that they need to walk down, and this narrow path with a couple of options at the end, and start to see it as wide open, infinite field where they can choose whichever path they want to. That's the real point of innovative arts class. It isn't to help people get into the trades. It isn't to help engineers and designers get their first contracts or whatever. It's to help people understand that there are infinite ways to go through life, and the creative and the curious are the ones who are doing fun and cool things. When I add a class of my students, I don't see limitations. There's not a single student in there who couldn't go off to be a doctor or a lawyer or any high-paying, prestigious job. There's not a student in there who has limits except for the ones that they place on themselves. Teaching them how to be curious, teaching them how easy it is to bring things to life and to have their own identity in creating can be a way to say, hey, there is no path. The path that you thought, that was you confining yourself to something that isn't really there. We're in an open field. Which way do you want to go today? That's what maker education can be. And that's why these 6 creator types are so important. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I'm learning how few people actually watch past the first 30 seconds. So you are amazing, and I hope you have a really great day. Our students are drawn to these examples. It feels like cheating. It feels like taking the shortest way, but sometimes the shortest way is the smartest way.